Hi there. So there's a few things I want to talk about today. Finding your passion is a really important topic, and it's something that if you can get it right, then it really makes a difference to your life. And a lot of people are searching for something that helps them to find their passion. The reason why finding your passion helps so much, hi there, Richard, lovely to see you. The reason why it helps so much is because if you can identify what your passion is, then every day you'll be able to get up with a purpose. You'll be able to get up and do something with your day because you'll know that there's something which really matters to you. So I'm going to give you 5 different areas that I think you can look at when considering your passion. And I've also made this into a YouTube video, so you want to check out my YouTube channel. I'll thank you so much for the hearts. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, please have a look at that as well. But I'm going to briefly run you through some different things I think you can think about which might be helpful for you. And there's 5 different things. I'll cover them very, very quickly. But if you want to think about them more deeply, either scribble them down or you can watch this video on a replay if you like and scribble them down then. But there's 5 things that I think you need to think about. The first one is imagine that you had all the money in the world. What would you actually do if you didn't have to be thinking about where you're going to get your money from for a job? What would you actually do with your time? So leaving aside the fact you might just lounge around and watch trashy TV and have fun, if you were going to do something, sit on the beach, yeah, absolutely, Nisha, thank you. What else would you do with your time? And if you can answer that, then it perhaps shows you what you should be doing with your time in a work context. And if you can find the money, if you can find a way, to make money from something that you're very passionate about, then that might be something that you should be doing. So that's the first thing that you can think about. The second thing that you can think about is what is it that other people tell you that you seem to care about? So when you're in conversations with other people, what do they say that you're very passionate about? What do they say that you seem to really care about? What are those issues? And the reason why that can be very helpful is sometimes it can be quite hard to figure out what it is that we're really passionate about, because maybe we're passionate about lots of things, but maybe to someone else it might be a bit clearer. So the second thing is to ask other people what they think you're passionate about, and that might be helpful. The third thing is that you need to do, not just think. Thinking is very important. You need to give yourself enough time, and you need to take time out of your busy schedule in order to think about things. But it's not good enough just to think about things. You actually need to test them. One of the reasons for that is many of us have passions. We have hobbies. So we have things that we're very interested in. But if we try to do them as a job, if we try to earn money from them, we would lose our interest. We would lose our interest because one of the main reasons that we like them is because we don't have to do them every day. Or maybe we might find that there's aspects of a job that we really wouldn't like. So often if we're looking at different jobs, we'll see the romantic side of the job. We won't necessarily see the hard work it took to get us other people there who are in that job. So the next thing I'd say is to actually try working on your passion, actually try doing it as a job, try to earn some money from it, try to be in a role with something that will, you can try that passion. I'll thank you ever so much for the hearts. But also, you need to try lots of different things. So if you try something and you think it's your passion and you do it as a job for a bit and then you find, oh, actually, you know what, that isn't something for you. Maybe it's not something for you because you got out the wrong side of bed that day, or maybe the people you were working with weren't right, or maybe you found it a bit intimidating at first, or you didn't know how to do it properly and you were a bit embarrassed. So don't just give up on first go. But to give you an example, let's suppose that your passion is wine. Well, that's a passion of mine. So I might decide that I wanted to go into the wine industry, but I might not be exactly sure what part of the wine industry I want to go into. Do I want to be a wine critic? Do I want to source wine for restaurants? Do I want to write about wine? Do I want to sell wine? And so in order to work out what it was that I really wanted to do as a job, maybe I'd try lots of different jobs. Maybe I'd go and work in a restaurant and serve people wine. Maybe I'd work in a wine shop. Maybe I talk to wine critics or follow wine critics and find out what they say about their jobs. But either way, it wouldn't just be thinking. I'd really need to do something. Number 4 is don't be scared to create something new if the type of thing that you're looking for isn't out there. One of the things that I think puts a lot of people off is that they will look at their passions, they will look at the available jobs, and they'll think, there isn't a job for that. So if you have quite a niche passion, shall we say, then maybe it's not going to be something that has a ready-made job for it. Or maybe there is a job for it, but it takes many, many years to get there. Is there any way that you can bypass that system, or is there any way that you can change what it is that you're doing in order to, make that a realistic opportunity for you? For example, it might be a good idea to do the thing as a part-time thing to see if it's something that really be sustainable. What else could you do in order to make it more achievable? Are there different courses perhaps you could go on that would help you? But ultimately, maybe you need to just create it yourself. If there's not a company out there that does the sort of things that you want to do, so you can't get a job in that sort of role, maybe you need to create it yourself. Maybe you need to start your own business. Or maybe you need to do a bit more research into what you think people will buy, what you think will be sustainable, what you think people will be interested in. But don't forget that you can change the rules of the game by setting up your own thing. And my 5th point is really simply aim high. If you have something that you're very passionate about and you care about very deeply and that you're willing to devote a lot of time to, you should really aim as high as you possibly can. At the end of the day, we only have one life, we only have one shot at life. And quite often people are quite down on themselves about their abilities and what they think they'll be able to achieve. If you're struggling to aim high because you're a person who's quite hard on yourself, and lots of people, including myself, can be quite hard on themselves, but what you need to do is to talk to somebody, a friend, a family member, a loved one, somebody who cares about you, and ask them what they think your potential is, or ask them what they think you should do with your passion. And you might be quite surprised quite how ambitious other people are for you. It doesn't mean you need to follow their advice, and it doesn't mean that you need to be very ambitious straight away. But having some sort of goal in mind that really excites you and aiming as high as you can is going to be really good. So I hope those points were useful for you. And please tell people about this and tell people about my YouTube video if it was interesting for you. But please think carefully about your own passions, because I think it's something that will help you very much in your career and your life and will bring a lot of fulfillment and a lot of enjoyment to your life. So those were the 5 points that I thought would help you to find your passion. And thank you very much for joining.